Hi everybody. For this week's interview, we have artist Leanne Mc Donagh with us, and thanks so much, Leanne, for coming on to talk to us. Leanne is has got, well, actually, do you know what? I'll let Leanne tell you who Leanne is because she can do it best. So, Leanne, will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm delighted to take part in this new series that you've created, which is great. I've seen your last interview and I loved it. So I suppose a little bit about me. My name is, as you said, Leanne Mc Donagh. I'm an artist. To the best of my knowledge, I think I'm the only professional practicing artist from within the traveling community. But when I always say that, I always kind of throw it back to people in the sense that I know there are so many other artists among us. There's so many talented travelers out there. But unfortunately, they don't always consider themselves artists, which is a shame because I feel there could be so much more work that we could showcase to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. So that is a little bit disappointing in one sense because I wish more people would say, yeah, actually, you know what, my work is just as worthy as everybody else's, and why not call myself an artist? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that happens, I think that happens anyway in the world of art. That sometimes there's the people who feel like, well, unless I have a qualification and I've gone to college, I nearly can't call myself an artist. You know, that kind of way. So if people haven't gone to college, they may feel like that, you know.
Yeah, that's totally true. Look, I ended up going to college for a number of reasons. And I think regardless of whether I had a qualification or not, I would have always become an artist. Mm-hmm. I ended up in a fine art degree many years ago, simply due to the encouragement of a lot of amazing people that I met throughout school and throughout my life. And I know for me, I've been lucky in the sense that I met those amazing people, those people that encouraged me and helped me along my journey. And for that, I'll always be grateful. So I suppose looking back, I know there's others among our community that unfortunately don't get those opportunities or don't get that encouragement to go forward and to progress with their education. But like, as I said, whether I had gone to an art college or not, I think somehow I still would have ended up creating and making art because I'd done it ever since I was a child, and it was something that I was always passionate about, I think, and it was always something that I knew I was good at, but I just didn't believe in myself, I suppose. And I know one of your questions was at what age did I know I wanted to become an artist? There was no age. It just kind of gradually progressed. And as like I said, when I was a really, really young child, I was always interested in drawing or making things or finding things and creating new objects or whatever it might be. And I know for a long time there would have been family members and cousins and stuff kind of thinking, what the hell is she at? But look, it made me happy and that was fine. And it eventually turned into something that I can make money from. So
actually, believe it or not, my first degree is in fine art as well. I studied in Sligo. How did you feel that some people received the knowledge, the information that you wanted to go to art college? Did you think some people think you were crazy, or what were you going to do with that? That, you know, what was the common joke that you were going to draw the doll? You know, because you know that's what artists do. How was it received within your family and your community about you going to college?
Yeah, like I totally agree with everything that you just said. I think every artist gets that. Yeah. I suppose I got two sides of the coin. So I heard the negative comments, but I also got the positive support from my family. I suppose education itself, in a sense, when I decided I wanted to progress onto third level, of course, it was something unknown to my immediate family and kind of the community that we lived in at the time. I think I was the first to continue to higher level education. So when I kind of decided it, my parents were kind of, okay, look, if it's really what you want to do, that's fine, go for it. And from that point on, it was just full on support from there on in. But I do know, like, whether it was my immediate family or the wider community, I can remember getting negative comments like, sure, what is she going to do with that? What will art ever get her? She's wasting the best years of her life. What's the point? Where would she go? Kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But not only did I get that from the traveling community, I also got that from the settled community.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember I went into a local shop downtown one day and I was doing the shopping for my mother, and the person behind the counter knew, it was the day the results were out, and they knew that I had gotten my results and had questioned me, what is it that you're going to do? I said, delighted with myself, I'm going to art college. And the response I got was, oh, sure, supposed to something. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. But thankfully, I've always been kind of a very strong-minded person. And once I make my mind up and I make my own decisions for myself, and once I'm happy with that, nobody else's opinion matters, really.
Yeah. So one of the questions we have from our young people, well, you answered one of them about when you knew you wanted to be an artist. But what's your favorite kind of art? This is from one of our young ladies who loves to do anything we do towards crafts. So she loves weaving, and she loves if we do any kind of crafty stuff more than drawing. What would be your favorite kind of medium, your favorite art?
So this is really hard to answer for me because I've always been torn between lots of different kinds of art. I suppose when I was really, really young, what I would have done, I would have found different things and I would have crafted a lot. I would have upskilled, I would have created new pieces out of old materials and things like that, which sounds like what that young person might be doing. And it just developed and it evolved. And when I went into college, what I always really loved and had a passion for was any type of art I could see real skill. So I was always blown away by drawings that were very, very realistic. And I can remember one time, I'll never ever forget it. So when I was really young, we used to live in County Waterford, but my grandparents lived in Limerick. So we would visit every Sunday. And I remember one Sunday, my parents left. I stayed at home. They traveled to Limerick. And when they left, I was working on a sketch. And they traveled to Limerick, which was a 2-hour journey at the time, did their visiting. And when they came home, I was still in the same spot, doing the same sketch. And they're looking at me like, what the hell are you at? They probably won't even remember that, but I do. But it was the amount of time I would spend to make a piece as good as I could possibly make it. But then what happened was when I went to college, I really didn't like abstract work because I couldn't see skill at the time. So what happened then was my lecturers they didn't force me, but they kind of encouraged me to explore it. So I spent a lot of time exploring abstract art, and then I just fell in love with it. I spent a lot of time so I'm really attracted to colour and the associations we make with colour, and I studied a little bit about colour theory and things like that. So I was really taken in by the abstract art, and as you can tell from my art now, it has stayed with me. So like my process through making the art that I do, it's a big process. So I use painting, I use drawing, I use print, as in dry point or screen printing or things like that.
Yeah, I love printing.
Yeah, I also use photography, and I could layer them up several times and go back into them. So I'm always torn between different processes. And I still love to create things. So I'm working on a public sculpture at the minute. It's been a number of years in the making, but to see something materialize from a sketch, something that's going to be set in concrete basically, and it's going to be there forevermore once it's installed, please God. It's amazing, you know.
And who would be your favorite artist then? So if you were to think, I know it's very hard to pick, because if you think about different styles and different times, there's different artists we like. But if I was to say you could have a painting in your house belong to anybody, or a piece of work, so I won't just limit to paintings, whose would you pick?
Okay, so the first name that came to mind, so there's a number of artists that I really, really like and I'm inspired by, but what they all have in common is a certain amount of colour and abstraction. But one that's been with me now for a while and I'm always drawn back to is Diana Copperwhite. I think her pieces are just amazing. They're really, really lovely.
And what kind of work does she do?
So she's a painter. She's from Limerick, actually. I think she was born in Limerick. She's got they're abstract, very, very bright, colourful pieces. If quick Google, you'll find her straight away.
Yeah. We're actually going to share some of your work as well from your website. So Leanne has a great website. If anyone wants to, I'll put a link up and you can have a look at some of Leanne's work. It's quite amazing. It's really fabulous. You also are involved in organising an art competition at the moment, particularly aimed at young people from the travelling community, to try and to draw what we know is there, how creative young people are, and in particular how creative young travellers are. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the art competition, please?
Yeah, for sure. So myself and another artist from Kilkenny, her name is Marie Lee, came up with this idea a couple of weeks ago, and we were kind of thinking, you know what, we'd love to see some of the work that we know traveller kids and young people can make. And as I said earlier, we don't always get that opportunity to showcase our work on a wider platform. So why not create that platform ourselves? And I suppose through my work as a teacher also, so I work with a lot of kids in different schools, and I can always see the talent that they have. And it really saddens me when it doesn't get shown to a wider audience. And sometimes even the kids themselves don't think it's worthy of showing it. And I suppose being on the journey that I've been through myself, I know it takes a lot of courage to put a piece of work out there into the wider world, to kind of make yourself vulnerable and take criticism if it comes your direction. So what we've done is we've created an art competition. We want it to be as positive as possible, and we just want people to record the memories that they're making during their time in lockdown. I know it's not the best time ever, and we're not all experiencing it in the same way, but I suppose if there's something that we can do, and I know through making art myself, it takes your mind off other things, and it just gives you an outlet to express what it is that might be going on in your head. So that's what we wanted to do basically, and we're encouraging as many young people to get involved as possible. There's 4 categories, and it ranges right up from young toddlers right up to 21-year-olds, and which has been great. We've been getting a very, very steady flow of entries in. I think there's about 8 or 9 days left in the competition, so the deadline is the 29th of May. We want as many people to enter as possible. Everything will be showcased on the Facebook page, which is titled Making Memories. There's 4 prizes, so there's 4 categories, 4 prizes of €100, which is nothing to be sniffed at, and then also 2 other prizes of €50. So you're in with a chance to win a nice prize, but you're also in with a chance to showcase your art to the rest of the community and to the wider society, which is
because we do it as well. Like I obviously use art a lot in the youth setting because it's my first love, and I find it a great tool to work with young people. But we see it so much and so many times, especially young traveller boys, the reluctance to bring home artwork that they make. And so we've created our own little gallery in the youth club because I've taken pieces of work out of the bin because the lack in confidence to own it and to bring it home and be proud of it is shocking. I remember even telling one mother one time, and she nearly killed him because he was put in the bin, and I showed her his work. She was like, he does the same at school. She said, I don't know what it is. She said, I'd hang them up all over the house, So it is terrible to see that the lack in confidence, and I think this is a great opportunity to give young people the opportunity to showcase and to be proud of what they can create and things like that. And we'll also put the link up on our page, and then we have shared it a few times. So I'm hoping to get a couple of entries in from Navan and Trim for you as well.
great.
Listen, Leanne, thanks so much for coming on and speaking to us. I follow you closely with your career, and you made a lovely book with Involve Ballina. Was it last year or the year before?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Last year, so it was lovely. It was really nice. A very small part in it, but it was a really nice project to be part of.
We have a couple of copies of the book in our youth club in Trim. So it's great. Listen, thanks a million for coming on. I hope you're keeping safe during these crazy times that we're living. It is a great opportunity as an artist to completely shut off and get creative. So I hope you're using the opportunity to make plenty. So listen, thanks a million for coming on with us.
Thank you too. Take care.
Bye.